What's up guys, it's Saber from the neighborhood, coming back at you with another strategy video. Today we're going to be talking about something that really bothers me. It's funneling. A lot of folks just aren't good at it, and really derails a lot of raids. So having just talked about a really nice CWL matchup with a lot of great examples of funneling, we're going to show you a couple of the best examples of funneling from the recent wars, and hopefully these help you guys get into the rhythm of funneling better for your attacks. So first we're going to start with Sting. We're going to go right to the drawing board to show you how he did it, and then we'll show you. Alrighty folks, so here we are at the drawing board, and I want to highlight today one of the most fantastic funnels that I have seen in recent memory. It's not the best base, but if you're trying to use a mass miner or a mass hybrid style attack, the funneling is absolutely the most important thing that you can possibly do. So what we're going to do is we're going to just show what Sting did. Sting is going to basically have his queen charge work the edge, right? And before I even talk about that, let's just think about it like this. Imagine that you as an attacker could basically put bars right here and right here and right here and just make this base into a giant L, and your troops would only go inside that L. How fantastic would that be? I mean, that would be really easy. You could just march basically whatever your main contingent of troops is directly down the center of that position. So let's say here, right? And they would walk all the way around, right? That's the idea. And there'd be no pathing issues. You'd get right into that base nice and easy, and things would go about as smooth as they possibly could. Well, most people don't think like that, but you need to think like that if you're trying to triple at a high level. So what Sting is going to do is he's actually going to basically make the funnel that way. So he's going to have one of the nicest queen charges I've seen in a while in terms of funneling. Basically walk all the way down there. And yeah, that's right. You're seeing that right. So the first question folks have is, how did he get it to go into that channel? Well, that's actually pretty simple. All things considered, you need a baby dragon to knock out this guy, and maybe this guy. But if you knock out those two, once she moves in through the edge, the next closest building is going to be here, and then here, and then here, and she's just basically going to walk down the line. And that's the idea. So in this case, what we actually want to do, though, here also that Sting did, is we have to knock out another building so that she doesn't walk up. And that's this guy. Can't have this guy, so we got to move around, right? Or if you're going to leave that guy, you have to hit it at such an angle that she doesn't get pulled up. Now, to make sure that his queen didn't get pulled up, the other thing he did is he sent in his royal champion right here, and he knocked out this entire compartment, right? So now we're starting to look like, holy cow, that's a black bar, a hard bar line where there's absolutely nothing alive on this side of the base, basically, like that. And that's a pretty nice guardrail, right? Well, what if I told you we could make it even better? On the other side of that guardrail, we can send our barbarian king, and he can walk the whole edge. And if he walks the whole edge and there's nothing left there, well, then our other guardrail is set right here, right? And in this case, Sting is using mass miner, and so you can send your mass miner attack strategy right down the center of this base, and they will path perfectly like that. There's nowhere else for them to go. Yeah, maybe use a couple stragglers at the end there, but it's a really amazing funnel, high-level stuff, and well executed. So I'm going to show you how it went. If you watched my CWL videos, you've already seen it, but that does not take away anything from the funneling prowess that Sting shows here today. Alrighty, folks, we just talked about how great of a funnel that was, so now let's see how it worked out in practice. So as we talked about, you're going to see Sting move in with the queen around this 3 o'clock side, and his goal is for that queen to take the alley right down the center of the base, knocking out all of those valuable defenses and the enemy queen. He's going to use his king on the top side, and the royal champion. Important note here, loons out in front of queen charges. They absorb scatter shots, they take care of seeking air mines. Things go well when you put loons out in front. In this case, he's going to use the minion to knock out that barracks like we talked about, right? Can't have the queen getting lured up. And he's going to neglect to use the rage until after he deals with royal champ, which is a little bit ballsy, but things do work out here. Now he's going to clean the edge. Because of the angle he approached with the queen, she's going to knock out this cannon and then turn back towards the center. Now let's pause here and look. Up top here, you got the king going with a wizard. He's going to clear the other edge, right? And now the queen has nowhere to go but directly into the center. Now pause here. A lot of things going on at once, and that's what you see in these high-level attacks, right? You got the champ coming in as well. She's trying to take out that Inferno Tower and the, not necessarily the Expo, but maybe the enemy queen, just so she further builds the funnel, basically, right? And now that Tesla went down, the queen is going to walk right down this gully. She's going to get a whole bunch of value, and at this point, it's a question of how long do you want to let your king walk? You can put maybe a wizard up there, a siege barrack, something up there at the top side, right? And now we're looking at a really, really clean funnel, right? There's nowhere for those miners to go except directly into the base. Now, his king did turn back, which provided a little bit of issue, so he had to wait for the P.E.K.K.A. to clear this cannon and a couple of the outlying buildings because he wanted to make sure that his miners stay in the base. His queen is just killing the CC, but we're at the 1 minute 30 mark and about 50% of this base is down. That's a good sign, and it's all funneling. So, I mean, at this point, miners go in. You don't need to use the Warden ability on the Town Hall either with miners because they duck it. Now, I do believe he ends up using it here anyway just because they get caught in a tornado trap. When they get caught in a tornado trap, better to save them than let it risk, right? A couple of hogs come out of that barracks. They knock out even more of these defenses around the edge, and the wizards are continuing to clean. We're going to speed it up just a little bit here because now the funneling portion of it is done. It's not quite as interesting here. The funnel is what we wanted to talk about today. And his miners basically heal, freeze, and rage their way through the rest. Really clean attack by Sting, really great job. And we are now going to check out a secondary attack by Reese, also with a phenomenal funnel. Alright, so we're back to the drawing board, and we're going to talk about Reese's incredible funnel in this attack. Now, slightly different attack, still miners, but it is the hybrid. Now, Reese has basically noticed a couple flaws in this base, and the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to talk about some of those flaws. These channels in this base. In the age of the hybrid, this guy right here that I'm highlighting here in black, he's a problem. And the reason why he is a problem is no matter which side of him you're on, but specifically this high side, this sort of side, right? You're offering basically a space where there are no buildings of any kind, and there's only walls. Well, troops don't go where there's only walls, so it actually serves as a funnel for Reese's troops. So I'm going to keep that guy highlighted for the rest of the raid, so you just, rest of the plan, just so you see what I mean. So you're going to start with a blimp. We'll do the blimp in pink. Big old pink bee coming in here, knocks out some of this stuff, right? And then he uses a couple of troops on the edge here, mainly a baby dragon and a couple of minions, which I'll do in, blue M. And these guys kind of get rid of some of the crap over there, right? Now there's two portions here where Reese makes really good decisions. Reese knows where he wants to enter the hybrid, and he wants to take advantage of that channel. So the question now is, what can he do? Well, with the hybrid, you're seeing a lot of these queen walks, right? And his goal for his queen walk is basically to walk into there, because that'll further ensure that that channel gets used as a funnel, right? Well, how can he do that? Well, there's actually a really nice way he can do that. He can drop a P.E.K.K.A. over here, and what that P.E.K.K.A. will do is it's actually going to walk up instead of down. That's all about how you place it. If you place it over here, it would walk down. But if you place it up here, it will hit this and then walk up. So that's basically the key. You got to place it on the high side, right? That is the goal. So he's going to place his P.E.K.K.A. there, and his P.E.K.K.A. is going to walk up and basically around. Well, what's going to happen is these couple of buildings are going to be down, basically right as the queen's hitting the same area. So what he does is he times up this funnel perfectly so that his queen heads in, and then right as his queen is heading in, his hybrid attack goes right on in, right? And I do believe he also uses his king and additional troops. I'm not sure what kind of troops per se along the edge down here to make sure that his hybrid stays in the base. This was a really nice use of that channel, and it was an even nicer use of timing to make sure that the queen went into the center. And once the town hall's down, he gets a whole lot of value because he uses his warden ability to take care of basically all three of these defenses at once. One warden ability gets through all of them. So that's it on the funneling side of things. Let's see how it turned out in actuality. Alrighty, folks, we just talked about how Reese planned out this attack and what his funnel would be. Let's see how it went in actuality. So here we are. First thing you're going to see is the loons are going to come down, and those loons and the battle blimp themselves are actually already serving to build a funnel. Who would have thought, right? That bomb goes down, and it takes out that. Let's look at this right here. We got a ring broken. What you're going to see is a couple of minions will go down to knock out these builders, and the queen will go down over here. She's got nowhere to walk but up towards 12. So as that blimp does its business, taking out the town hall, I'm going to speed it up just a tad here. This part's not particularly interesting. The CC is going to come out, and this is where it starts to get interesting. So let me slow it back down to normal speed here. The queen is going to deal with the CC. Got a couple of minions coming down. Now, if she hits that storage, even if she hits that storage, she's going to move back up. The Dark Elixir storage is not going to be close enough, and he gets a little bit worried about it here once she gets through the hound, so he actually does drop the baby dragon just to make sure. Things are going to progress, just a tad though, and it's at this point he's like, all right, I'm pretty confident she's walking towards 12, and that was his goal. So now he's thinking, all right, it's time to start thinking about forcing her into the channel. Here comes the P.E.K.K.A. The P.E.K.K.A. is going to move up. He's going to be reaching that cannon right about the same time the queen is, right? And that's going to force her to go into the channel. What you're going to see is, the king's going to delay her just a tad. His own king goes down on this side to ensure the funnel stays, right? He's going to get through the royal champ. And look at that. P.E.K.K.A. hit right at the same time. Queen is going to hit this, and then she's going to turn and go to these expos, right? So not only that, look at this. Stop right here. Look at this. There's no way those troops are going to turn. There's just no way. Maybe you'll lose a couple miners to the edge, but not that many because this Inferno is going to be closer than that. You know, maybe they go Wizard, Archer, Inferno, Eagle, right? You're keeping them inside the confines because of how he deployed them. And even better, the P.E.K.K.A. turns and goes around the edge. Yeah, he lost like one miner, literally one miner. With that Warden ability, he cleared out this entire section. Now, at this point, the Queen is doing her work in the core. All the expos are gone. The funnel starts to fail here, but at that point, I mean, you can't be that perfect all the way around the base, right? But it's still a phenomenal funnel nonetheless, and he easily triples this base. It's an absolute overkill, and that funnel had a lot to do with it, specifically that channel core defect. So that is going to be it for us today, guys. I really do appreciate the views. If you do like our content, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And this is going to be Saber from the Neighborhood signing off. Thanks and have a great day, and keep working on that funneling.